Park on a very hot September evening. We're here in the old trusty Corolla, the old 2ZZ, the old granddad spec car as we like to call it. So we're just doing a track evening, Donington. Second time I've been taking this thing on track. First time at Silverstone back in Japfest. So I did buy this originally to be a track car, but some of the engine problems like oil starvation, it's put me off putting it on track. There are a few things to do with the oil to help prevent it, which I did a couple of days ago, so it's cut back to a few days ago, and let's see what I did. And so here we are, a couple of days before, we're just going to do a few checks on the car, just to make sure that the engine's all good for the track day, so let's get into it. And there she is, the old 2ZZ. So yeah, so if you don't know what the problem is with the 2ZZ, it suffers from an oil pickup, so oil starvation does happen quite badly apparently. I've taken it around Silverstone before, as you see at Japfest. We don't have that problem, but I say it's still a bit paranoid moment for me. So there is a couple of solutions to deal with it. Number one's being getting a Rosso sump. They're quite expensive, so basically a baffled sump, so the oil picks up the oil much better, especially when it's being tossed around the track pretty hard with sticky tyres. That's basically where the problem comes from. But the other solution is to also just fill basically the sump full of oil. So that's basically what we're going to be doing, just filling up making sure that the sump is full of oil. So hopefully the problem shouldn't occur. Yeah, we're basically there anyway, pretty much on the full mark. Might top up a bit more with oil, just to make sure it's full, but that should hopefully minimise the risk of oil starvation. And the oil we're going to stick in it, so some 5W40 motorsport oil from Miller's. So we're going to put some good stuff in it, some competition, fully synthetic oil. So yeah, that should nicely lubricate the engine very well. Good. So that's topped up. Let's get back to the track and let's get some track action. So yeah, so hopefully we've prevented a few things with the engine. Hopefully the engine won't kill itself. So yeah, I'm just going to go out and enjoy it. So it's a hot day, so I don't know how many sessions or how many laps we'll be doing. Might just do a couple of laps, let it cool down and do a couple of laps. But yeah, it looks like a busy session as well. There's a lot of race cars in the day session. A bit weird here for the evening. Had a quick glance at the list. There's a few like serious cars here. So it should be a good test for the old Corolla. Last time I came, I was in the Yaris. I did about 138. That was about a year and a half ago during the winter. So I'm hoping to get quicker than that. Hoping for around the 130s would be nice. Under the 130s I'd be happy with. Yeah, I've not done anything differently to the specs of it since Japfest, so it's pretty much exactly the same car. I'll be tweaking around with the suspension a little bit, hopefully trying to stiffen it up a bit. But yeah, I'll leave the specs here, around here, if you're interested in what the car's got. So yeah, let's go to the briefing. Let's get this thing on track, and let's hope for a good evening session. And here we go then, out for the first session of the evening, and this is basically the very start of the track evening. I know a lot of people don't really like going out at the start because it's very busy. Everyone wants to get out there and you don't really get that much clean track time. But as a content creator, I would like to get a bit of content in there, so see what cars are about, see what I can catch up to, see what I'm getting overtaken by, see if I can copy anyone's lines. As the cars warmed up a little bit then, there's a McLaren on the right hand side as we get past. And we've got a nice gaggle of cars in front with an MG race car directly ahead of us. Like I say, he's also got a couple of cars ahead of him as well. But as we skip on to the cam box view here, and unfortunately this is the only cam box view we have. Like I say, it's a very hot day out there. I think it's about 28, 29 degrees at this point. Even in the evening, the cam box got very hot inside the helmet. So I only recorded this bit of footage, which is an absolute shame, as it does look really good. But as the MG brakes quite early there for turn 1, as you probably would, as you don't want to go into the back of the cars ahead of him. But we're coming down in after the first corner, coming down Cranacres. I think this is about the second lap on it now. So like I say, we've been 28, 29 degrees out there, getting quite hot. As I didn't realise at the time, it coming down Cranacres, a bit of left foot braking. But if you have a look on the left hand side there, on the right hand side should I say, at the temperature gauge, the temperatures shot right up, as it really took me by surprise, that did. I know it went up a little bit at Silverstone, but I've never seen it get that hot at all, so I'm quite worried. I back off completely, let it cool down. Hopefully it's not done too much damage, but you can see it's already going down even after a little bit. And this is literally on the same lap, coming to the end as it's come right back down again. So coming to the last couple of corners, I think, you know what, I'm going to go for it. Hopefully it's not nothing too much. This actually ends up being the fastest lap of the evening, so I'm just going to shut up and let it play. So there it is, a 1:33.5, nowhere near the time I did want, but unfortunately that was about my only clean lap that I had, and the temperature again shot right up towards the end of that lap, so I had to back out of it. But a few more laps later, after I've called it down again, I got this EP3 Civic overtake me, and I thought, you know what, let's give it a little bit, let's see if we can catch up to it coming down into the old hairpin. We all know that the EP3s must be a bit better than the Corolla. As you can see, it starts flying away, but from having a look at it in the car park, it did look a lot more track ready than mine did. And then have I believe the Tegra Mini, the Time Attack Tegra Mini comes past. But at this point, I feel like I've had about enough of this session. I've had a lot of, I don't really want to damage it a bit more than I really want to, so I can back off completely, let the car cool down, and that's when the next problem comes up for the car. As we come around this corner here, the power steering light comes on, the power steering just goes completely off. As you can see there, the power steering's gone. It's an electric power steering, so the electric motor, so that just completely shut down. Luckily it came back though once I put it into the pits, turned it off and on. Yeah, and it worked again. So coming out then for the second session, not really much happened in this one, not really much happened for the rest of the day now. But as you see, I'm back on it round the last corners there. They're coming shooting up the home straight as there's a Toyota Igo race car ahead of us. So I've got my eyes locked onto it as I'm really catching up there through the coming up to the first corner. As a gang comes out of the pits, and it looks like a Mini's come out of the pits as well. So slow down a little bit to let them to come out properly. Coming up down to Craner curves, as we are allowed to overtake down Craner curves as long as it's allowed, as the Mini does stick to the right. So we slowly peek around the left to get it done, but the Toyota Igo race car then still ahead of us, coming down to the old hairpin as it feels a bit slippy, as the back end did want to come out a little bit there. But as we start catching up then with the probably about 100 must be more than 100 more horsepower, get the job done, get overtaken by it, and that's literally what happened in session 2. So here we go then, the third session, shooting it right down the main straight. Coming into the first corner is that Mini ahead, which we had on the second session. Comes out the pits once again, and looks like we're gonna overtake it at the same place. He sticks to the right hand side then, coming down Craner curves, so he's gonna allow us to overtake as we get the job done a lot quicker that time than we did it in the second session. And again, nothing really happens this session either. The temperature just shoots right up as it has here. Sorry, I haven't got the rev counter on it, as my phone doesn't really want to allow me to do it without going absolutely berserk, so it's much easier just to leave this footage in here. But yeah, I'll stop the sessions here pretty much. I do have a fourth session, but nothing happens again in that. Do about half a lap before it starts overheating again. But yeah, bring her into the pits, and that is the end of the track action.
Another hot one?
Yeah, I'm starting to lose trust in the car. It's getting hotter and hotter and hotter. Brakes feel spongier and spongier. It's turning into corners not like it was at the start of the sessions. Yeah, it's just overheating. I don't really want to damage it more than I want to, which is a shame, because obviously the Yaris is so reliable, especially on track, but it is what it is. So it's fucking quick, but it's overheating. Can't do much after 2 laps. God, if you had smell-o-vision, you smell like burning oil and bake some eggs on that. And there we go then, YouTube. Yeah, she's hot. She's very hot. It's unfortunate. Wasn't really expecting it to overheat that much. Obviously, it did a little bit in Silverstone, but it wasn't overheating that much. Whether because it's 30 degrees out, I'll say even now it's like 28 degrees. So just very quickly, after this day, doing a bit of research, putting in the Corolla Facebook groups, I believe the problem is a bit more than it just being really hot. It could be down to the thermostat, could be because I haven't got baffled sump in there to let it heat out, or an oil cooler. It could be a lot of things, but this is possibly for a future video to try and diagnose. But I've got a few things lined up already to try and sort it out, but let's just get back to the outro. Yeah, it's a little disappointing. Obviously, you can only go out for a few laps at a time. So if I wanted to take this out and track again, I guess I'd have to be winter or try and find a different radiator. Bleed the coolant, not sure. But yeah, it ain't too bad to be fair. It's a pretty quick car. Stepping up the suspension a little bit. I say I was losing trust in it throughout the sessions. Power steering went twice, which is always fun. I don't know why, I must have knocked the sensor somewhere and it's sent it off. But yeah, she's not quite as wall-bound as the Yaris is. But yeah, it is what it is. It's nice to take it out, to be fair, in Donington. I'm not sure what lap times we got, so I have to look at that afterwards. It'd be nice to see the 130s, but I can't really see it after the minimum laps we've got. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, even though it wasn't too much track action. Yeah, whether we get this out on track again, I'm not sure. We'll see, maybe in the winter. Yeah, if you like that video, YouTube, don't forget to like, leave a comment, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. It really helps the channel out. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video, whatever that will be. I'll see you later.